that's a good problem to have. So it's been fun to watch.
Scott, on the other side of it with the bats, and you mentioned that some guys are starting to come out of it, which is great. We talk to Jerry every week, and we've used the word pressing to talk about, how some of these guys have, what their approaches looked like at times. What does that word mean to you, pressing?
Well, I think, if you go through, it's not a blanket you could just throw on the whole group. I think everybody's situation is a little bit different. Some guys, getting out of their approach a little bit, trying to do a little bit too much. Some guys not just looking what the game's calling for in that moment, based on the score, based on the runners on base, based on who the pitcher is on the mound. Trying to do a little too much, just do what the game is calling for at that moment. Sometimes it's just about, getting your pitch or maybe taking a walk to get an inning started. Other guys, maybe it's a little bit of a mechanical issue on the timing. So you can't just throw a blanket over the whole group, even though it's easy to do that. I think you have to treat everybody individually, and that's what we try to do here. I think we do a pretty good job of it. So it has been a lot of discussions, just talking with guys, getting feedback from them on where they think they're at. Some of these guys have been through struggles before in the past. Teoscar Hernandez is a notorious slow starter. He's been through this before. Just getting a chance to talk with him yesterday and where he's at, and then throwing my 2 cents in there, what I'm seeing. And, the guys are receptive, but they're also getting it from a lot of different avenues. So you don't want to, just pound these guys over and over and over. You need to give them a chance to breathe. We're getting that point in the season. Guys are willing to make some adjustments. We need to see it play out on a consistent basis. They're all capable. They wouldn't be given this opportunity if they weren't capable of doing it. A lot of our guys have track record, and I fully expect they'll get it back, going again here.
So what does that look like from your perspective when you talk about some of those conversations? I think fans imagine at times that a manager goes in and tells a player what they want, and then that's the end of it. I want you to hit like this. I want you to take this approach. I'm guessing that's not really the way it works. So what does that look like from a managerial or even a coaching perspective for your guys under you?
Well, I think when you have those discussions, I always try to put myself in the player's shoes, and I was in those shoes. I had many seasons where I was struggling for stretches of time, and, I try to go back and lean on the things that I thought helped me or resonated with me. Every player is different. I'm not going to, talk with Julio the same way I would talk with Ty and JP. They're just at different points in their career, and they understand, maybe their swing or their approach a little bit differently. So you really have to be individualized. You cannot just say, okay, here's how I did it. You need to start doing it this way. Or these are what the numbers say. You need to start doing this better. The players know. They know they're struggling, and our job is to just try to relieve some of the pressure, try to get them relaxed a little bit and get them into a happy place. This is a really hard game, and I think people forget that at times. The best players in our game, they fail more than they succeed on the offensive side. So the mental toughness to grind through a bad stretch really is the separator on big league players over the course of their career. We've got some awesome guys here. We've got some really good players. It just, quite hasn't clicked yet. It will. We're not even at the 40-game mark yet, and I always talk about, well, let's see where we're at 40 games into this. And you kind of get a feel for where you're at. And I look at some of the bright sides, Jose Caballero. This is a guy that, really wasn't even on the map. We saw a little bit in spring training. He's had some injuries. He comes up. He's played great. He's been a nice little shot in the arm for us. There's some bullpen guys that just out of nowhere have fit in perfectly, and they've adjusted to our program and what we do. So a lot of bright spots here, but we know we can still get better, and that's the focus here is, we got to get better every day.
Scott, it is a really hard game, yet Julio last year as a rookie made it look very, very easy for months and months and months in the home run derby, and it's been a little tougher stretch here after the first couple weeks of the season. Where is Julio at in your estimation right now?
He's exactly where he was last year at this point. If you want to look at the numbers, he's off to a slow start. It started to click for him about this time. Julio is frustrated. He has very, very high expectations for himself, and nobody cares about the team's success, maybe more than Julio, on our team, and he's wearing that a little bit. So, just trying to relieve, some of the pressure. Just be Julio. I'd say it to our guys all the time, just be you. And right now he's trying to be a little bit more than that, and it's a very high bar that he put out there last year. He wants to be at that level every day. It's not clicking for him right now. The talent is still there, the want to, the work ethic, the being a good teammate. All those things are still there. Just got to, slow it down a little bit. I'd love to see him take a few hits into right center field because I know that's when Julio's at his best. He'll get there. I fully expect him to get there. I think it might start today.